across the fire and swap blood. And
He was there.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's a number of pre-engineered solutions that are out there today that we leverage every day, and they're wonderful solutions. And frankly, they make sense for most of the rooms that a customer has a need for. We've seen them all. We've seen the Logitech Rally Bar solutions, the Polycomp solutions that are the bars, the Yealing solutions. There's a number of options out there for it. But there's this challenge when you have this mid-size or larger room where you go into needing a hybrid scenario, whether it's, hey, I need additional speakers on the ceiling, or something of that sort. And I want to talk about the challenges that we experience with that and why that is such a jump to kind of go into that semi-custom or custom solution. What's the value that those solutions bring that cause it to be a big jump?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a 25 or 30 person table, a very large room for meeting's sake, thinking that you can handle all of that from a conference bar that's in the front of the room, that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw audio at people. The people at the front of the room are now getting their ears blasted off just so the people at the back of the room can hear what's happening.
Yeah.
You've got a camera at the front of the room that's trying to, equalize everyone, capture the guy that's all the way at the back and then capture the people that are, up front. And at a certain point, you have to acknowledge that additional speakers, so maybe the aging board person in the back of the room can hear a bit better. So adding speakers throughout the ceiling may be the right solution there, which obviously requires additional equipment, amplifiers, maybe some switching, things like that, or adding table microphones, and in some cases adding aesthetically pleasing table microphones. A microphone that's a foot away from the person that's speaking will be a microphone that is across the room any day, always is going to be the case.
Yeah.
And so there are things that you have to consider when you start scaling up further and further and further. And then that comes back to camera switching and multi-camera technology. Some people want to make sure that the people at the table have equal opportunity to be seen and heard at the same time, instead of just a big wide shot where you're struggling to see who's the person that's speaking right now. And so those are factors that have to be considered. And with that comes costs. So you kind of have to make your choice, what is the right solution for my room and what is my budget within inside of that? And we're pretty good at educating that and scaling that up and down within a reasonable solution that matches kind of the vision that you're going for, and helping you understand hey, your budget's going to need to stretch a little bit here to get what you're picturing, but we're not going to give you something over-engineered. What have you guys come across?
Well, I can say one of the things that always comes up is that somebody figures, well, I can take this base solution, this pre-engineered solution, and I just want to add some additional speakers. Well, they forget the complicated technology that's behind that. These companies who make these types of solutions, they have done a lot of work to build in a custom DSP that's actually handling the complicated aspects of this. I mean, nobody wants to be on a call where you can't be heard. Nobody wants to be on a call where you're hearing feedback and you're hearing ringing. And those types of things matter. So I know Brett mentioned about, having the volume be really loud in the front of the room so that somebody hear it in the back. That's going to come with issues as well, technical issues. It's going to come with ringing that's going to happen from feedback issues. And
yeah, just, let me jump in just to clarify, for our listeners, a DSP would be kind of like the sound guy at the back of a concert.
Yep.
But that's all happening automatically via a black box. So instead of having the sound guy with this big, audio board, and he's adjusting levels and he's making sure that the EQ sounds right and all of those things, we have a black box that automatically can handle those things. And we put the programming and the time and effort into making that room shine.
Yeah.
So that, that's what you're talking about when you say, hey, there's a DSP that needs to be included in these types of systems.
Yep. Yeah, so the DSP that's built into these solutions is actually custom built for the pair of speakers and microphone that are actually a part of the package. So when we get involved in doing a semi-custom solution, you say, oh, it should be simple. Let me just add some additional speakers in the room. It's not as simple, because now we have to actually put in a separate DSP, and we've got to put in a separate microphone, and we've got to build that program, and we've got to build the echo canceling. We've got to build, just like Brett mentioned, it's like a mixing board. It's not just a mixing board. It's a mixing board with a whole rack of effects that allow us to be able to make this sound really good. And so there's complicated processes involved in that.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes underestimated for what it all can do.
Yeah.
And it can scale to very large systems, but it's just as helpful in small systems. And like you said, that's something that people don't even realize is built into some of these conference bars, is that they have to build those features in, and we're the benefactors of technology as it's evolved. But as you scale up, sometimes you need those dedicated processors via a DSP. You have to handle those situations.
Yeah.